Hi, I'm Jamie from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in the game Dragon's Gold, which I had the pleasure of playing with 3 other players, total of 4 players, just the other day. It reminded me actually a little bit of a game that I love called Ink and Gold in a slightly different way. There's some big twist in this game. So in Dragon's Gold, really my favorite mechanism is the core hook of the game. So I'll explain that core hook as I show you some images here. It is a game where you are choosing some dragons to fight. It looks like there aren't many images of this game on Board Game Geek, or at least the one that I'm looking at. Interesting. This might be a different game. Yeah, I think this photo doesn't actually go along with this game unless I'm playing the wrong game. Here's a game that looks a lot more like the Dragon's Gold that I played. So you're choosing a dragon to go fight with one of 4 cards, numbered 1, 2, 3, or 4. And that number essentially is saying I'm putting up 4 attack against this dragon that requires 8 attack to kill. And slowly that dragon card will accumulate cards from you and other players until that threshold is met. And then you have killed the dragon, and it's time to divide up the loot, whatever that dragon was guarding. And at that point in the game, you can see them represented here by these little discs. In the game that I was playing, there were little crystals that we had to divide up. These are randomly drawn from a bag, some of them preset when the dragon comes into play, and others that are placed on the dragon after the dragon is defeated. And then you start a timer. I think it's a 1-minute timer where all players have to negotiate how to divvy up that loot. And if they can't decide by the end of that timer how to divide it up in whatever way they choose, then none of them get anything, and that loot just is lost. It's lost forever. This all or nothing negotiation, I really enjoyed. Like it especially with the time pressure too. You have 1 minute to make an important decision, and if you don't make it with the other players, which happened a few times in our game, then no one gets anything. That is the hook of the game, and that is the core mechanism of the game. And I thought it works really well. It worked well to put that pressure on players that it's all or nothing. You're either getting something out of this treasure or no one is getting anything. And there are even times where you just decide, I'm hardly getting anything out of this the way that we've divided this up. It's probably not worth it for me to agree. And you might just step back and say, no, I'm not going to do it. No one's getting anything. That didn't happen often in our games, but I could see it happening. Usually we were kind of dividing things up pretty evenly, but there were points made. Like if I only put in a 1 value card and other players were putting in 3s and 4s, well, they might say, we put more effort into killing this dragon. We deserve more of the loot as a result. So I really enjoyed that aspect of the game. That was a really nice real-time negotiation. It was a really nice hook to the game. There's also some nice choices in the game. Which dragon are you going to pursue based on how long you think your card will sit out in front of that dragon, and if others aren't helping out with taking care of the dragon. The variances in information on the dragon. Some give you perfect information where they come out and as soon as they show up, they get all the gems or tokens that they'll ever gain. They won't get any more at the moment of defeat. Whereas others have the opposite. They have no information up front, and they give you all that information, all the loot when you actually kill the dragon. And some of them, most of them, are somewhere in between the two. I really like that differentiation between perfect information and not perfect information. And last, one other element of the game I thought was pretty clever is that in the middle of the game, there is as you're drawing cards from this dragon deck, you can actually see right here, this is the market card in the game. This market card will appear, and it's just a time for you to trade with other players, trade the gems that you've earned, the treasure that you've earned with other players, in the hopes of getting better sets, basically, because there's a set collection element to the game in terms of different colors of gems. And also in that market phase, you kind of learn what other players are looking for. And so that might impact how you decide to divide up loot later. You might realize, okay, this player really wants these blue tokens. I can get more out of this negotiation if I give them 1 or 2 blue tokens than I might be able to get out of another player. So yeah, really interesting game. I really had a lot of fun with it. Like I said, it reminded me of one of my favorite games, Ink and Gold. And I'm curious to hear what you think. If you can think of any other, if you play Dragon's Gold, and you have a favorite mechanism, or if you have another game that you enjoy that has real-time negotiation, limited time, real-time negotiation, especially if it's all or nothing, where you either make an agreement together and it happens, or you don't, and time runs out and no one gets anything. Let me know about that in the comments below. Thanks.